PSM Process Safety Management Technical Meet. As a part of our SSP Kuwait chapters, core committee, and our continuous efforts to bring learning opportunities and to provide a platform for networking of our SSP member, a special PSM specialty group has developed in this current tenure, and this is the sixth technical meet. As you all people are aware, and almost, mashallah, more than 50 members already joined on time, and this is the sixth PSM technical meet. And as you all are aware that these PSM safety technical meets every third Wednesday of the month we are conducting. And basically the idea is that a technical meet means it includes a brief presentation for experience sharing speaker and information, and one the person who is new in this PSM field. The purpose of this meet is a discussion among members and sharing the knowledge related to process safety and networking, and providing an opportunity to the new speakers, new people to come forward and share their experience, share their knowledge. I would like to say a few words. For example, when we had taken charge in the month of July, 23rd July, from July to December, Alhamdulillah, this tenure ASSP Kuwait chapter has brought so many good speakers and delivered a very good trainings programs. Like today, with 7-5, we are having more than 50 people. These members, they are the backbone of us, and they are motivating us to conduct more and more program like this. So once again, I would like to request all of you to come forward for next month presentation, sharing your experience. I urge the experience our ASSP mentors, advisory committee members, past presidents to come forward and take place for next month's speaker. And once again, uh, I would like to thank our both today's speaker, Vasudevan sir, who is having more than 29 years experience and associate with ASSP Kuwait chapter since 2004. And I would like to welcome Mr. Ramana Murthy, who is having more than 20 years of experience. Hope our today's event will be successful and our members will get benefit from this one. Over to you, Mazhar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jahid. And now we are on time, so let us dive into our main program. Before that, I would like to say that both of the speaker of today, I am really personally know them. I worked in last 2 years with Mr. Ramachandra Murthy when I was in a gas before moving to West Kuwait, and he is my colleague. And Mr. Vasudevan is our mentor, our leader. So I know them personally. I am sure we are going to have a very nice things to learn today. The first will be case study on heat exchanger, and all of our industries, process industries, they are having heat exchangers. So it will be a very important for us to learn something and apply and check whether it is correct in correct way applied in our industry or not. And another will be on fatality in the tank during the construction stage. So that will be also very useful for us. Now let me welcome our moderator and the person whose brainchild is this technical meet, Mr. Ujjwal Ritik, to take the stage and move forward this program. Ujjwal sir, please, screen is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Mazhar Bhai and Jahid Bhai, and all the colleagues, and Ramana as usual, coordinating so efficiently. Okay, I'll start my video also. Okay, so it is really amazing that we are here on the sixth meeting. In fact, these challenging times, people find it very difficult to get engaged, get engrossed, start contributing, or continue contributing in such ventures when you don't see each other, when you don't, you can't meet each other. So it looks like that we are in a fairy tale. We are talking to some, ghosts. It looks like some time. So these are the challenging circumstances. And in spite of that, we are on the sixth meeting. It's wonderful, wonderful. And hats off to the, organizers, to the committee, to attendees, and people who are coming forward to present. Now, let me just once again, I keep repeating, but there are always new people who keep joining. So I keep repeating, the technical meets, as we have designed this, is not a training meeting, not a training workshop. It is a networking platform and sharing each other the experiences that we have gained. But these experiences, if you are so experienced, if you want to talk to me about your experiences, you can take 1 hour, you can take one day, sometime you may take whole week, and still you can keep on telling me, look, I did like this, look, I did like that. But what we are doing here is that just 15 minutes, giving a brief as to, look, when I did like this happened. And I'm focusing on failures, because failures is, of course, people learn from successes. I mean, when we are successful, why not repeat that? And when you repeat success, hopefully you again get success. So that formula, we get we get hooked to a formula of success. Unfortunately, in real life, those formulas do not work all the time, because parameters are different, times are different, people are different. If suppose there is a group of people who are, who have certain skill set, and they accomplish a task, they successfully complete a project, that does not mean that using the same formula after 1 year we will again be successful. Why? Because the set of people who were there could be different. It could make whole lot of difference. Even if they were competent, possibly they may not, achieve that success. Likewise, there are so many parameters, so many issues that may change, and we may not get successful. So repeating a successful formula does not guarantee success. However, learning is that when we fail, and the bigger is the failure, more is the learning. The bigger is accident. If suppose I am smoking and then suddenly I have a heart attack, and then I realize that, look, smoking almost killed me, I'm quite sure 99% chances are there I'll stop smoking. So that is what learning is about. And that is what I keep requesting people, not necessarily people who have 20 years, 30 years, 40 years of experience. Even a less experienced, I mean, number of years, less experienced person also can present that experience sharing session. 15 minutes, no need for PowerPoint. If you have a PowerPoint, well and good. No need for a video. If you have a 1 or 2 minutes video, very good. As long as you are able to express what you are going to say clearly, audience is able to understand that, that's it. So don't get scared. Oh, I have to prepare a PowerPoint and that will it may look good, it may not look good, font will be small, picture will be bad. Don't worry about that. And the other one, rather the first one, is that I am on a learning curve. I want to present something, although it is well published. But as my guru, Trevor Kletz, he kept on telling that that organizations, people, they always tend to forget even the best of learning also. If suppose, again going back to the same example, I have been smoking, I have heart attack, I stop smoking, 5 years, nothing happens. What do? Oh, let me, restart smoking. People tend to forget. So they need to be retold the old stories. Flixborough, somebody already presented, Buncefield, Texas City, Bhopal, Mexico. Such incidents have to be kept retold and told and told again, like religious sermons, so that it keeps on. But again, without taking much time, just as a reminder, 15 minutes. Rest of the time we spend in knowing each other, knowing new people, queries, some networking, even after this whole meeting. Let's stop now. I have taken enough time. So let's start with the first presenter. And he has already been introduced to you. The topic has been introduced to you. Over to you. Your time starts now. Go ahead, please. Ramana, can you please switch over to, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Moti, you need to unmute yourself. Huh?
Sir.
Yeah, Mr. Moti.
Excellent. You can start now.
Good evening, all, sir.
Good evening.
I'm very much happy that I am the part of this ASSP platform, first thing. Second thing is I have a very good and excellent colleagues, mentors, bosses. Even Mazruni Sheikh is my boss, is my colleague as well, I can say. And thanks for Mazruni Sheikh, sir, who has considered me as a colleague and introduced me. And thanks to Ramna. And my special thanks to Ujjwal Ritik sir, who has given due to him only I could present this PSM technical meet, and this is a very good opportunity for me. Thanks to him. And one more thing is I'm feeling very bad also that I have received the message in the group that Ujjwal sir is retiring shortly. So though he is retiring, he is always with us, and his spirit is always alive with us. So the intensity of PSM has grown with him. Before I joined PSM course in this ASSP, I have very much no. The intensity is very less, but now after joining and having the association with Ujjwal Ritik sir, the intensity of PSM has gone to very much extent. Okay, thank you very much. Quickly to start my presentation, uh, I'm sharing my screen.
Mr. Murthy, before you start, I think there are two devices you have.
Yeah,
It
yeah. That's
seems if you can just mute one, so we will not have echo.
no, that is okay, Majaji. You don't have another one. One is presenting in one device, and audio is coming from other device. We
Yeah,
already
so audio
tested that
should
one.
be.
Audio from other device. It's not an issue, Majaji. We already checked it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for this. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Ramchandra Mohan.
Okay, Ramana?
Yes, yes. Oh, some disturbance. Okay, okay. Some other is giving noise. I stopped him. Okay, go ahead.
So this is part of the PSM process safety management case studies. Uh, one minute. It is about explosion fire at Tesoros Anacardos refinery in the naphtha hydrotreated unit. It is a heat exchanger. It is one of the heat exchanger of the refinery. The, exactly on April 2nd, 2010 at 12:30 a.m. That is in the midnight, uh, 00:30 hours in Anacardos, Washington oil refinery. There was a major serious explosion and fire, the which is producing gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel and asphalt.
Okay.
The explosion occurred in naphtha hydrotreated unit. The you have, I will show you the figures, but meanwhile I'll tell you there are two banks. Each bank has three heat exchangers. One is under maintenance and another is live running with the plant. So the number of fatalities are seven numbers. Seven people have died. It is a brief description of the incident. The task is, what exactly happened is they are restarting the they are restarting the heat exchangers after post maintenance. One of the on one of the banks. So bank one has three exchangers online with the live plant. Bank two has three heat exchangers offline for restart up after post maintenance. So they are working on bank two. Bank two is in line with the live plant. So during the restart operations on April 1st, 2010, that is late midnight, 00:30 hours, April 2nd, that is April 2nd, which is midnight. So a middle heat exchanger in operation on an adjacent bank. In operation, the incident occurred in the heat exchanger, which is in live. So a middle heat exchanger in operation on the adjacent bank of the main the bank which is under maintenance, catastrophically ruptured and violently ruptured. Okay, the pressure containing shell of the heat exchanger burst at its weld seams, expelling a large volume of very hot, more greater than 500 degrees, which is containing hydrogen and naphtha, which spontaneously ignited upon contact with the surrounding air. Actually, hydrogen and naphtha, if they got contact with the surrounding air, and because of the heat already available, it got exploded. The ensuing explosion was so violent that many in the Anacortes felt the shock across Fidalgo Bay. All across the Fidalgo Bay, they felt the explosion very violently. And the giant fireball lit up the sky above the refinery, and a plume of black smoke was pushed toward the town of the southeast wind. That was southeast wind. So a giant fireball lit up, and a black smoke pushed away into the town by a southeast wind. The explosion could be felt 300 feet away, and the fire it unleashed burned for 3 hours. Though because it is an explosion, it has taken 3 hours. Okay, the incident was statewide worst industrial disaster in 50 years. So in 50 years, that it was the worst accident ever happened. So just a small figure which could explain you how it looks like, where are the two banks. There are two banks, bank one and bank two, containing three heat exchangers, 1, 2, and 3. Bank two heat exchanger 1, 2, and 3. Bank one is live. This
Correct.
second heat exchanger has exploded. So bank two was under post maintenance, they are going to restart this. So they are going to take up this bank 2 after ensuring this is bank 2 is in condition. So okay, now I'll show you the other figure.
Yeah.
Actually,
Mr.
this is
Murthy,
yeah.
Mr. Murthy, sorry to interrupt you. The screen is not showing fully. Is there any display settings out there over there? Could you please check? We couldn't be able to see the full screen. In the top heading, only the naphtha hydrotreat is coming. The top one is not showing.
Now it's
You have
okay.
to minimize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
But
Okay.
okay, this is next slide also showing. You just
Yeah, but
okay. Can
sorry,
you give me the control, please? Let me see.
yeah. Just one minute.
Okay. Now go to preview mode.
Yeah, yeah. What did I?
No. The full screen not showing. You
For
wouldn't
me,
able
it's
to preview it. Okay. Could you please share again? I'm just disabling.
yeah.
Share again.
It's okay.
Otherwise, we'll do one thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll stop your share and I'm going to share it now. You just present it. I'll give the control to you. Okay, so that you can. Sorry, I have two devices. Okay. Can you?
Yeah, tell me, Ramna. I can't listen to you.
Yeah, I'm giving remote control to you. You can
Okay.
operate my screen. Okay. Where is that remote control? Which one? Laptop, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll tell you can operate. Huh?
No. See. I have given control to you. You just click on OK and you can operate my system. And
I
go
did
ahead.
not see anything.
A request is there. I sent a request to you.
Oh, again, send once again.
HP laptop, right?
Yeah.
I have given.
Huh? Admit, huh?
Yeah, admit. Yes, yes.
Array, again, it's gone.
Okay, I will do it again. Just admit it. Not admit. Okay, then I will change the slides. Just go ahead. Don't
Yeah,
waste
that's
time.
fine.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
please.
say next, you can continue.
Yes, yes.
That's better. So in this, we can see two banks. One is live online and one is offline. Okay. I think everyone is listening properly, no, sir? I'm getting some echo.
No, it's clear. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Uh, bank one is online, bank two is offline, and three exchanges. This is under bank two is on to start up after post maintenance, and bank one is the which is a live plant. So explosion occurred in the second heat exchanger, the middle heat exchanger of the bank one. So which is having naphtha and vapors and hydrogen in the shell side of the heat exchanger. So next. Okay, but is not changing here. Okay, anyhow, shell side. No,
Change.
this is heat exchanger 3, but actually it should be heat exchanger 2, which is broken. The shell side as because of the um, overheat of the on the shell side, which has raw naphtha in the tubes. It has raw naphtha and hydrogen in the tubes, and other on the hull side, the hot fluid is there, which is having high temperature above 500 degrees centigrade. Because of the reason of failure is HTHA damages. Which is what is HTHA is high temperature hydrogen attack, which is a quality of due to it is a it is because of you can see the AP RPI guidelines, which is showing Nelson Gov because of the chemicals reacting with chemicals and hydrogen. The reaction between the graph between partial pressure of hydrogen and high temperatures. So it is because of that reason. That is the quality of it is a reason for failure. Okay, next. I am unable to see the screen here. That's the problem. My screen is not moving. Next,
You just minimize that one. Whatever you have on desktop, just minimize and open Zoom. You could able to see.
you are moving my screen, no, sir? Ramna.
Yes, yes. Not your screen. I am sharing the slides.
Okay. Now just go to the next slide, na.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Mr.
already moved
Murthy,
it.
it is the next slide.
No, my slide did not move, sir.
Okay, you go ahead. You
Can you
just open your
click?
presentation and go to that the next slide. From you can talk from your presentation itself.
Okay,
I'll move accordingly. Okay.
okay. That's okay. Now it is video. You want to see the video once? Or else,
Okay.
shall we go with the this thing, or you want to see the video once?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll open the video. Don't worry.
Yeah.
April 2nd, 2010. The Tesoro Refinery in Anacortes, Washington. A nearly 40-year-old heat exchanger violently ruptured.
Sorry, just a minute. I didn't share that, right?
April 2nd, 2010. The Tesoro Refinery in Anacortes, Washington. A nearly 40-year-old heat exchanger violently ruptures, causing an explosion and fire. that kills 7 workers, the largest loss of life at a U.S. refinery since 2005. The Chemical Safety Board launched an investigation and determined that the heat exchanger catastrophically failed due to long-term damage from what is known as high-temperature hydrogen attack. The Tesoro refinery in Anacortes is an 800-acre facility located approximately 70 miles northwest of Seattle. The refinery produces a variety of products, including gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and asphalt. Within the refinery's naphtha hydrotreater unit, raw naphtha, a light component of crude oil, is treated to remove nitrogen, sulfur, and oxygen impurities. Before entering the unit's reactor, the raw naphtha and hydrogen are preheated inside pressure vessels called heat exchangers. The unit contains 2 banks of 3 heat exchangers supported by a 3-level steel structure. Each heat exchanger consists of a bundle of tubes inside a steel shell. Hot fluid exiting the reactor flows through the heat exchanger shell, while cool fluid headed for the reactor flows inside the tubes. Heat is exchanged through the walls of the tubes. Every 6 months, the heat exchangers are taken offline to be cleaned because of fouling, a common occurrence when operating heat exchangers in this type of service. As the raw naphtha is heated, a scale-like material forms and deposits onto the inside of the tubes, hindering the transfer of heat in the exchangers. On March 28, 2010, 1 bank of heat exchangers was taken offline and disassembled for cleaning, while the other bank remained in service. This allowed the unit to continue to operate. By mid-afternoon on April 1st, the cleaning was complete, and operators initiated the startup of the offline bank of heat exchangers. The procedure required an inside board operator monitoring the control console and 1 outside operator opening and closing large manually operated valves. But the heat exchangers had a history of developing leaks during startup, something that refinery personnel had come to see as normal. Additional operators from other nearby units were called upon to assist with the startup, including mitigation of potential leaks. By 10:30 p.m., the outside operator was joined by 6 workers from other units within the refinery. The 7 workers were located around the heat exchangers, where startup activities continued past midnight. But unknown to the workers, the steel shells of the middle vessels in both banks of heat exchangers had been severely weakened due to cracking caused by high-temperature hydrogen attack. This occurs when tiny hydrogen atoms diffuse into steel at a high temperature, then react with carbon in the steel to form methane gas. The larger methane molecules, unable to diffuse out of the steel, accumulate, stressing the steel and over time causing fissures. In both of the middle heat exchangers, the fissures grew and connected to form large internal cracks. One such crack was 48 inches long and extended more than 1/3 of the way through the vessel's 1-inch thick shell. Shortly after midnight, the temperature of the fluid exiting the tubes of the online bank of exchangers increased about 75 degrees over the span of 3 minutes, a temperature increase that was typical and observed in previous startups. But the middle heat exchanger was so severely weakened from high-temperature hydrogen attack that it likely could not withstand the stress caused by the rapid temperature increase. At 12:35 a.m., employees working at a nearby process unit heard a loud hissing noise when vapor began to leak as the heat exchanger cracked at its weakest point. Seconds later, the exchanger violently ruptured. Hot hydrogen and naphtha vapor rapidly vented from the exchanger and spontaneously ignited upon contact with air, resulting in a massive fire that consumed the heat exchanger structure. 3 of the 7 operators died at the scene. The other 4 operators were transported to local burn centers with severe injuries. 2 died within hours. The other 2 succumbed within days.
So, coming back to the presentation, the picture clearly explained everything about better than me. Sorry, but I just want to explain you once again the investigation and cause of the incident. The inadequate mechanic. The causes are the inadequate mechanical integrity, which is the PSM element, mechanical integrity, including inadequate mechanical integrity programs, including preventive maintenance to control damage mechanisms and aging equipments are chemical facilities. So it is one of the causes, major causes, mechanical integrity programs. Okay, they don't have. And the common hazard of damage mechanism of STHA, that is high temperature hydrogen attack, or it is actually methane reaction, which is actually the no API RPA 941 Nelson curve, which indicates this STHA mechanism, damage mechanism. It's a damage mechanism actually, which is which occurred in heat exchanger made of which is made of carbon steel, a material considered unfit for the job. These recommendations are given in this API RP 941 Nelson curves, that about this carbon, that is why it is referred as API RP 941. Okay, then the heat exchanger was made of carbon steel and a material considered unfit for the job because the heat process was more than 500 degrees centigrade and it degrades due to STHA. So over the period of time, the steel is lined up with tiny fissures which develop from micro cracks to major, which you already seen as 48 inches, developed into 48 inches length to 1/3 away in the 1 inch thick tube of the vessel, which lead to a rupture. So slowly over a period of time, the crack increased up to 48 inches of length, almost 1/3 of the way. So this was also observed by Chemical Safety Board. Industry depended on usage of standard API RP 941 and standard uses the carbon steel Nelson curves predict damages or equipment failures due to STHA, which was proven unreliable. Means the industry depended on the use of standard API RP and 941 and standard uses of carbon steel, which are found to be unreliable, because Nelson curve, they are dependent only on Nelson curves and the design parameters only. But that design parameters, it is not on the operating parameters. So this is proved to be not useful. CSP identified at least 8 incidents of STHA occurrences below the carbon Nelson curve. Means carbon Nelson curves give some design parameters, but below that below the design parameter itself, there are many incidents. Around 8 incidents occurred due to STHA in the same industry. Okay. Next. Investigation and cause of the incident continues. Okay. Tesoro engineers and corrosion experts relied only on Nelson curve, which use only design parameters, not operating parameters. So generally people will say this design, we are not in the industries, many of the industries we only see the design parameters. Okay, we are below the design, but this is what happened is below even the temperatures and other parameters are below the design parameters. The operating parameters are it failed because of the operating parameters which are not monitored. So non-availability of monitoring system for measurement of the operating parameters, temperatures and pressures is one of the cause, is another cause. Actual operating temperature and pressure are found much above the design parameters due to fouling or scales formation in the tubes. Okay, no, because lack of monitoring, it has caused lack of monitoring the temperature, they exceeded the design parameters. No updation of SOPs. This is there is a counter here in the previous thing. Below design parameters, many incident happened, and this incident happened above the design parameters. So they cannot rely on Nelson curves design parameters only. So that is one of the causes. No updation of
let's
SOP.
take another 3 minutes, Murthy, and then we'll have to get to question answer, please.
Yes, sir. No updation of SOPs. Additional manpower. They used additional manpower always for manually operated valves, because it requires around turning around 100 tons are there to rotate. So one person cannot rotate all the 100 tons. They keep all the, they require addition. They only 2 are there, but they have taken additional 5 manpower, and all they were the part of the fatalities. So this is happening with them always when there is maintenance. That is also they are not following the SOPs of 2 manpower. So that is an additional cause. History of negligence. Investigators also determined that during that startup, Tesoro did not correct the history of hazardous conditions earlier, or limit the number of people involved in the hazardous non-routine startup of the heat exchangers. But because of the reoccurring risks and the need to manually open a series of long-winded valves that required over 100 turns by hand to fully open, a supervisor requested 5 additional manpower to help them. So all of the 7 people lost their lives in the blast. Next. Okay, these are the figures which shows Nelson curves and the HA cracks which are fully developed. Okay, sir. This is Nelson curve limit, which is showing the zone below and above parameters. That curve shows the design within the design parameters and above the design parameters for the carbon steel. Nelson curve is the graph between uh, process temperature and the partial pressure of hydrogen. So next one. So this is the clearly picture showing the HTHA and fouling of the tubes, which is the cause of the failure. So recommendations, CSB has given some recommendations to revise API RP 941 steels for the hydrogen service at elevated temperature and pressures in petroleum refineries and petrochemicals. Clearly establish the minimum necessary shell requirements to prevent HTMR equipment failures using a format such as that used in ANSI and AHI. As we referred, we cannot explain now. Use inherently safer materials such as steels with higher chromium and molybdenum content. Use inherently safer materials like chromium and molybdenum. Require a verification of actual operating conditions to confirm that material of construction selection prevents STHA equipment failure. Prohibit the use of carbon steel in process that operate above 400 degrees and greater than 50 psia hydrogen partial pressure. State and national chemical safety regulations shall be designed to protect workers and surrounding communities from potentially catastrophic chemical releases, to adopt more rigorous process safety management attributes and features based on the team's regulatory analysis to prevent the recurrence and reduce the likelihood of consequences of similar incidents. Okay, sir. So continues.
Thank you.
The year of the process hazard analysis and damage mechanism review programs for refineries in order to validate damage mechanism. Here the STHA was the damage mechanism document that effectiveness of that for the effectiveness of that STHA mechanism. PHA process hazard analysis has to be done, and safeguards has to be in place, and increase the role workers also, increase the role of workers representatives in PSM. So those are the steps which are recommended for from CSP Chemical Safety Board. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Any
that
questions,
was
sir?
wonderful, Murthy. That's good. This has been a very, I would say, important incident. Although many people, they do not, they overlook this, but learning-wise, this has been as important as even Texas City or even many other similar incident. And a very deep investigation was carried out by CSB. So do we have any questions on this? Let's take a few questions. Please switch on your mic, introduce yourself, and ask your question.
Hope they did not understand.
Switch on your mic and ask your question.
There is a question in the chat box.
Yeah, let's ask the question directly. I mean, by voice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
He's having some issue, I think. Mr. Karupasamy, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. This is
Good
my
evening.
first PSM meet attendance. I just like to know, was anything identified on revising the frequency of cleaning the exchanges after this incident, or out of curiosity, I'm asking. I'm not
Sir?
an expert in technical side.
Sir, can you please repeat the question?
No, the issue was with the scale deposition or fouling deposition of the heat exchanger tubes with naphtha
Yes.
during the heat
Yes,
exchange process.
Yeah.
Was anything identified on the revising the frequency of cleaning the or descaling process?
Actually, they have already such incidents. Yeah, the maintenance was very bad, very poor. Though they have identified the same mechanism, the failures for the same mechanism failures. Already 8 incidents happened. They overlooked it, and they have not given means they have not corrected their this fault. So they continued the same. Just they have normally maintained done normal maintenance, but they have not corrected such damage. They have not corrected the maintenance. They have not undergone such maintenance programs which can correct HTHA damages.
Thank you.
That is
Thank
why
you.
again it happened. Now this incident was major one compared to the earlier 8.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Do we have some other question? Please come forward. Switch on your mic and introduce yourself.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I am Hitendra Kumar.
Hi, Videndra Kumar.
I
Yeah,
think
good evening. Go ahead.
Yes, please.
I think in in what went wrong. I think PSSR this was also overlooked. PSSR they didn't do before a startup. Is that not correct?
PSSR actually yes, it is one of the PSSR, but majorly we can say that they don't have a organized maintenance program correcting the previous incidents.
Yes, there are lots of means lagging here.
Yeah, there are a lot of you can practically see one thing is that they are relying on the Nelson curves design
Yes.
parameters. They are just for the standards and all, so which they are not meeting that Nelson curves, even though they have the standard design parameters, that they are not monitoring also properly. Monitoring also they are not doing.
Yes. SOP they are not following, and they are not
Because,
following the standard procedures, operating
yeah,
procedure.
they may see they are not having a proper study on what are the incidents happened past, and they are totally relying on the Nelson curves only. And Nelson curves, as they have the design blind, like they are blindly following that, and they are not monitoring and analyzing. They don't have the proper analysis why this happened and why it why, even though they did not cross Nelson curves design parameters earlier, the incident happened. They did not have the study of that
Yes.
carbon steel metal which was used. So all these things are there. They can use different material like molybdenum, as mentioned in the earlier. The molybdenum and chromium they were the good metals which are effective, which will not have this STHA damages. So which I cannot say damages, but they are more reliable than the carbon steel. So this Nelson curve, they have already have some standard, but there are many other reasons because like this monitoring, which has not been done.
Yes, yes.
So and the over a period of fouling and all fouling, this happened.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, thank
Very good. Yeah, thank you very much. So we will have more questions we can take up later, especially during the networking. I think one-to-one you can talk to the speaker, Mr. Murthy. Now let's spend a few minutes on introducing people who are joining this for the first time. Let's hear from you. What's your name? Where you are working? What is your background? In a few lines, I should say. So go ahead. Please introduce yourself. Those who are joining these meetings for the first time.
Good evening. This is Karupaswamy, and this is my first meeting with this PSM group.
Welcome, Karpusamy.
Thank you. I am working with the Darul Handasa on a road project with the Ministry of Public Works on the 6-point fairing road project here for the last 4 years. So I'd like to enhance my knowledge on this process safety to get some more inputs.
Very good. Welcome. I hope you will achieve your objectives. Are there more people?
Your blessings.
Sir, good evening, sir. This is Devendra Rathore, working as operation engineer in KNPC Min Abdullah Refinery.
Good evening, Devendra. Welcome to this forum.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you talk about yourself?
Yeah, so here I am working in the operations of the new this clean fuel project. See, I am in CFP commission department, and I was instrumental in implementation of PSM in my previous organizations, that is in Bhatinda Refinery and the Reliance Industries Sajira. So I'm looking forward to join this club for particular enhancing my knowledge for the PSM further.
Wonderful, and we would expect you to share your knowledge with us.
Because, sure.
Yeah.
In the next session, I would like to.
Yeah, it is mutual. You know, it is like a bank account. You give, then you take. So you have to give here something.
Sure, sir.
And we would expect people like you to share. What did you do? Where did you fail? That is very important. Share about that. So Devendra, thank you. Anyone else is joining for the first time?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. My name is Sindur.
Again, please, can you be a little
my name
loud?
is, yes, sir. Good evening. My name is Sindur, sir.
Sindur, okay.
Yes, sir. I'm working as a safety engineer in Alzur Refinery project from HISCO, sir.
Welcome.
Yeah,
and what
sir,
is your background? What you are doing right now? What did you do before?
Sir. So my background. So this is my first project also, and I came newly for the girls for this project. I came in 2018, but as a safety officer, I came here, and within 1.5 years, I promoted as a safety engineer.
सब बढ़िया सुनाइए
क्या चल रहा है आपका बताओ मेरे को फटाफट तो
So what is
my first meeting, sir?
Yeah, what did you do before?
We are working sulfur block. We are constructing here in the sulfur Alzur Refinery project from our end HISCO.
And what did you do before coming here?
Sir, in India, I did in the mining, sir, but as a maintenance engineer, but not in the safety. Mining from the, so you know, the Godavari Kani and this OCP projects. I worked over there, and I came here as a safety officer, but now I'm working as a safety engineer.
Very good. Welcome. And
thank you.
Let's have one more person to talk about someone else who has joined for the first time. Anyone who is joining for the first time, please switch on your mic, introduce yourself. Okay, I think we have either someone is not able to connect or we have exhausted our newcomers. So let's get back, and we have already been introduced to the next speaker on this, and this is what we call experience sharing, where someone has failed, where someone would like to tell us that don't do that again because that's fire. Don't touch that, it's hot. So this is the kind of experience we are going to get from the next speaker, none other than Mr. Vasu. So go ahead. He has already been introduced. Vasu, over to Vasu, please.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, friends. First of all, thank you very much for ASSP Executive Committee, President, Vice President, and moderator for our program, Mr. Ritvik Sir. Thank you very much. My presentation, it's a couple of slides. I will be talking more than what is there in the slide. The purpose of my doing this here is to share an experience, what I had. Ramana, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear.
Okay. Now, all of us are safety professionals probably in this meeting. We are about 70 people of us here. Now, when I say fatal incident in a project area, I'm sure all of us will be thinking of a construction incident. Somebody has fallen down, or somebody has had a crane incident running over him, or something like that, something related to construction. I'm sure this will be your thought process. And this incident happened when I was a very young engineer, less than 5 years, around 5 years of experience I had by that time. I'm not going to share the names of the companies because of obvious reasons. The incident, what was there, was actually a big surprise to us, the people who attended that emergency. Because as I said, this area was a construction area where there was a tank farm under construction. And so obviously, it was not even taken over by the company. It was given to a project site, and projects were constructing a lot of tanks. Now, this is a small pictorial diagram. If you can see here, this was the refinery in operation. And we had a road in between, that is an industrial road, basically connecting industries. This was the area, we call it as tankage, additional tankage project, we used to call that. And there were, I just showed about 5 tanks, but there were about 14 tanks under construction. And this was the area, which is another company. Now, this was on the evening around, say, 4:30 in the evening or so. Suddenly, there was a very big fire in the tankage. Now, as in charge of fire and safety in those days in the refinery, I was not the shift in charge at the time of the incident, but being one of the I was a deputy manager at the time, so I was one of the rather not deputy manager, I was a senior engineer. So I had to respond to the emergency because one of my other colleagues, also who is in Kuwait, was in charge of the shift at the time. So the incident happened at 4:30, and we were living nearby to the project, to the refinery. So the moment I got a call, they said that there is a fire in additional tank farm.
And the first thing what came to my mind is it's impossible because there is no hydrocarbon in that area. I mean, how can there be a huge aromatic fire? I mean, I could see the smoke from my home. I said, no way. I think it should be some other plant nearby. There is an industrial area. But they repeated to me, yes, there is a big fire. So then immediately I rushed to the site. And to my surprise, there was a huge fire, huge fire. Why this incident I chose, the reason is, this was the first time in my career I saw a fatality. In fact, there were a couple of fatalities. Now, what has happened that day? This is the refinery, as I said, and there is a manifold at the gate, and this was the gate where we entered this tank farm. This was the manifold from where the hydrocarbon products were transferred to this company. This is A company and this is a B company. This B company is a marketing network, marketing tank farm. So we normally, because we are the refinery in the region, so we were transferring the product to this company and they were marketing the product in their outlets. Now on that particular fateful day, say around afternoon, around 2 o'clock or so, the transfer started. Now the deputy manager or the in charge of the shift who is responsible for transferring the product, he opened the, he didn't go there himself. He asked one of the operators to go and open the wall. And he said, open the wall by gravity, let the product be transferred to this company. Initially, the normal operating practice is that they initially transfer the product by gravity because the height of the tank, there is a head of about, say about 15 meters, height tank is about 1.5 kg head. And the other tank which is receiving, it will slowly start building up the head. And once the head is there for some extent, almost not equilibrium, almost somewhere nearby, they start the pump. This is the normal practice. Around 4:15 or so, or maybe after 1 hour, the gentleman from the B company called him and he asked this gentleman in this counterpart in this company, A company, that I'm not receiving the product. There is no product. He said, no, it should come. We have already opened it. But what has happened was, it was about 1 hour, around say 3:30, this conversation took place. And then this gentleman who was the in charge, he's a very, very experienced person, very, very experienced. He's about 40 years in the tank farm. Then he realized something has gone wrong. So immediately he called the operator who had gone to line up the transfer. He asked him, which wall did you open? He told, I opened this wall, which I showed in green. Then immediately he realized the mistake. Now, when he rushed to the site, actually in the drawing, I have put it in a separate place, actually. But it was a manifold where there was a tie-in. The tie-in was done already to transfer the refinery product to this additional tank farm. Now, the walls were nearby and the operator, by mistake, opened the wall which is going to the tank farm, additional tank farm, not the tank, the product receiving company. So immediately he rushed to the site, he closed the wall, and then the whole thing, this whole operation, when it was happening, it almost 2 hours it took. You can see the amount of hydrocarbon which would have gone to this tank farm area. And there were plenty of people working there. And I had just shown 3 tanks. This specifically, the reason is, these tanks were receiving this product. I would say, fortunately, there was no welding activities going on in these tanks. But what has happened was the hydrocarbon has gone into the tank and the manways are open of these tanks. They were all interconnected. The manways were open and you can see here what I have put is the open drain, stormwater drain. The hydrocarbon has come out of this and filled the stormwater drain. And this drain was coming up to the refinery. And all this were naphtha. This was full naphtha. And normally, I still wonder, it's still actually, I would say, a unknown thing to me. How did we not smell it when we went to the site? What had happened at that day? So the moment I reached the site, by the time the fire was already gone, I mean done. It was almost extinguished, because the reason was the hydrocarbon source was isolated. But what had actually happened at that time was what is most frightening thing I have seen in my career as a fire and safety in charge. As I said, this is a project area. So none of us from the HSE department were involved in the construction, because it was a construction area which was contracted out. It was being managed by the contractor. And we were not supposed to go in there till it is taken over by the refinery. So the moment the fire took place, of course, we had to go there. And the sad part of it was we were not even knowing the area. So we had to somehow manage to reach there. Our team reached there. And the fire was put off on its own. The reason why it was put off on their own, because there was no fire water network. In fact, we had to fight the fire with the tenders. Normally in the refineries, we have water tenders and foam tenders, which have very limited capacity of water. So we normally depend on the hydrant network to supply water to generate the foam. And we didn't have that much water, because the hydrant networks was not even commissioned there. The fire got put off on its own. But the main thing, what scared us or what happened that day, is what should be of interest to us. Now, what has happened on that day, when this storm water was there, it was full of naphtha, as I said. And we had the concept of auxiliary fire crews. We didn't have the luxury of this many fire people in the team. We were only 3 or 4 people in the shift. And we had auxiliary teams from the other departments who were supposed to support us in the firefighting operations. So at that point of time, a couple of our auxiliary firefighters, the main firefighters who were trained firefighters, were connecting the hose from the truck standing on the road, and they crossed the this canal, stormwater canal, with the hose, and they were trying to put off some small fires in this tank, which is basically a leftover in the manway, the small fire. Now, during this firefighting, one of the auxiliary firefighter, one of my very dear colleagues from inspection department, he was fighting the fire in the beginning in this area. And in this canal, there was one operator, an operation guy standing in the canal. And while firefighting, those days we were not using the FR fire resistant coverall. So it was a normal coverall. So it caught fire. Small smoldering started in the coverall itself for this gentleman, because he's an auxiliary firefighter. So the moment he saw the fire in his thing, he saw this water canal, stormwater canal, and he just presumed that it is water. And there was a gentleman already standing in the canal. So he just jumped into the thing just to put off his fire in his coverall. And that triggered a massive fire. The whole canal was full of naphtha. We did not even realize that it was naphtha. And the whole fire spread from this corner to the refinery. And within maybe a few minutes, the whole fire was off, because all hydrocarbon was burnt. And unfortunately, we lost 2 of our colleagues. Now, this is what has actually happened. This was what the incident. And this incident was the first incident in my life as an young engineer. Before that, we were very, very daring, and we used to think that we can control everything. This was the first time we saw a death. So it really scared us and really made us think that emergency handling is not a small piece of cake. We cannot assume anything. We were assuming that it's water, and none of us knew. And in fact, the gentleman who was on the other side with the hose got burst because the hose was going over the stormwater drain. Hose got burst, water connection stopped, and like I would like to take a few more minutes if you don't mind, because it's a detailed, and I have been given 15 minutes. I know I have just done 14 minutes. I will take a few more minutes if you don't mind. This gentlemen who were on this side, they ran for their life, and the fire was burning like a movie. We see a movie, a hero is running along with the fire, but the heroes were running behind. The fire overtook them and it reached up to the refinery, to the refinery gate. So this was the incident. Now, what went wrong? Many things went wrong. I have just listed few of them. First thing, for any plant, when we have any high-risk industry, operation discipline. Now, how can you, operator who is new, just new to the thing, how can you assign such a critical rundown transfer to a gentleman who doesn't know the job? He's new. So he opened the wrong wall. Now the next question is, why there was no engineering control in place? Ideally, when you have a tap-in, this was a tap-in. Actually, this was a tap-in done for the new tank farm project. What should have been done? First thing should have been that once the tap-in is done, either you blind it or you disconnect it. You keep the tap-in, but you keep the line connected during the time of commissioning. The tank commissioning was quite far, maybe 1 year, maybe still left. The third thing, there was no proper line identification. There was no stenciling. Even the operator who is new, he doesn't know. He thought this is the line going to the tank B, a company B. And he opened a tank which is going to tank farm. The fourth thing which I can see, now, had there been a flow transmitter or a pressure transmitter in the company where it is receiving, it could have probably given an indication earlier. Probably we could have got a news that there is something going wrong. It took almost 1.5 hours to know that the hydrocarbon is going to a wrong place. The most important thing which normally we face is delay in communication of emergency. The emergency was communicated after 2 hours when the hydrocarbon was already there for 2 hours. And people were, in fact, to our knowledge, later on, we came to know they were even trying to carry it in a bucket, thinking that it's petrol. They didn't know what is it. Laborers. And the last but not the least, the emergency preparedness of our crew. We were not even aware of the geographical location of the plant area, nor the fire protection network was commissioned, nor we had fire hydrants there. Fire tank was not commissioned, water tank. So these were some of the lessons learned we had from this incident. There were a few more. I just listed some of them. And another challenge what we faced later, I would say, unfortunately, I should say that I was put in charge of the cleaning up of the area after the incident, because we had to again make the area hydrocarbon free and give it back to the contractor to make it gas free so that we can do the construction again. So we made a team headed by, of course, mechanical operations. Everybody was there. I was the safety guy who was asked to take over that. And how can I mean, of course, whatever was in the open, it's being naphtha. Most of the things were, because of the low flash point, it got evaporated. But whatever left inside the tank, it was a challenge for us to even empty it, because there was no steam, there was nothing to prepare. So we had to have a compressor running there. We had to use some desi techniques, we call, to empty the area and hand it over back to operation. So in short, this was my experience. If you have any queries or anything, you can contact me on this email and personal phone, which I have shared with you. With this, I would like to give it back to the moderator, and be glad if any questions need to be answered. It's my pleasure.
Wonderful, Vasu. I mean, this is what I keep telling. let us share our failures. Let us share our failures. And then we make others that, look, don't touch that. It is hot. So any questions, please? Switch on your mic, introduce yourself, and shoot your question to Mr. Vasu. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, Vasu sir, thank you very much. Your presentation was really eye-opener for us. During your presentation, just I got one point. Remember, maybe if we can use logout tagout for the walls, so there is a little chance for the opening walls and closing correctly. This also we can concern it.
This is what I had said when we have this kind of tap. The most important thing for us is to have this lockout tagout. I mean, we should put the blind in place. The line should have been blinded. Even if there is an accidental opening, which is very much possible. See, normally what we do is we tend to say everything, we tend to at the end, we say it's a human failure. But somehow I don't believe in that, because yes, of course, the system, whatever systems you make, human interference is there. But this is a fundamental mistake. You cannot have a line hooked up with a new tank farm without a blind in place. It should not have been there. It's a fundamental fault done by us. And that because it costed us, actually, we lost 2 precious lives. They were actually fried. I mean, to be honest with you, as I told, I was a young guy that time, just less than 30, in fact. When I saw them, they were colleagues of mine. One of them was a very close friend of mine. He was an inspection engineer. When I went and saw him in the mortuary, I could not sleep for 2 days. Can you believe somebody being roasted in a naphtha pool? It is the most difficult thing for anybody to see. I couldn't sleep for 2 days.
Vasu sir, thank you very much for sharing it, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, do we have more questions? Please come forward. Iman, can you speak out, please? I see that there is a question in the chat box from Iman. Please speak out. Introduce yourself and speak out.
Yeah, I can answer this question. I think I can read that. Iman, I can take this question. Probably you are muted. I will let you know. Yes, this is what I said to you. Because you are right. Naphtha.
No. What is the question? Vasu, please just repeat the question.
The question I can see in the chat box, sir, is naphtha smell like gasoline. How was there no smell during the incident? This is precisely what I mentioned during my presentation, also my experience sharing. See, you are right. Normally gasoline, we put, nowadays we don't use mercaptan. Earlier we used to use this, or we used to have some other kind of distinct chemicals which gives the smell. But this was uncracked naphtha. And this naphtha, even though the properties are the same, it doesn't have the smell of gasoline. But still, yes, it does have some smell. I'm not saying it is zero odor, but it is not as odor, having such odor like gasoline. And that is why it's still a big question mark in my mind after 30 years, almost 25 years. The gentleman was standing on it in the canal. And the man who jumped into the canal, neither of them never realized that it's a naphtha. This is something, and it's a question which I couldn't find an answer till today. But yes, but I can tell you the smell is much lesser than gasoline. That much I can tell you.
Many thanks,
Thank you.
Mr. Vasu. Actually, I forgot that I am entering through my daughter personal ID. Sorry for this. Iman is Iman Ihab Said. So,
okay.
okay,
No,
boss.
no, go ahead.
Many
Go
thanks.
ahead, Ihab.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my question only. Sorry to disturb you. Thank you.
No issues,
No, it's okay. Do we have more questions, please? Do we have
Vasu sir,
more
good evening, sir.
questions?
Vasu sir, good evening, sir. This is Murugan from KOC, sir. Muruganandam.
Yeah, good evening, Muruganandam.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, KOC, we have the same system of work, sir, to get the coordination from process and the various discipline to do any job, sir. Like that, we have any safe system of work procedure before this incident?
See, this incident happened in the 90s.
Okay, sir.
This is not a very recent incident. It's about mid of 90s. But yes, we have a system. We had a system in place. See, the process safety management has really taken, I won't say even it has taken up to a highest level now. Even today, we are growing. But past 2000, in fact, I have another major incident which I would like to share sometime. The problem with our third world, I would say, which is including Kuwait, I don't mind saying this, is that we are not open in sharing our, like the gentleman just now presented before me, the Western country, they are very clear in sharing the lesson learned. They don't mind sharing their failures. They don't mind putting the real things on paper. Even this incident, I had to think a few times whether should I do it or not do it. But I thought it is 25 years. Okay, let me share it. I mean, all these things, whatever I have put for your to my surprise or for all of you surprise, this is all what I learned after the incident myself. This is not a report issued by the company. This is my experience I'm sharing with you, because we still have that unfortunate way of not sharing the things. We still feel that we are scared of sharing our failures. I think that's what I can put it. So these all experiences, there was a system to answer your question on how an operating transfer should take place between the refineries to the marketing network. It was followed. As I said in the beginning during my presentation, it is normally a gravity transfer. Once the gravity transfer is established, this gravity transfer is normally done. The reason why gravity transfer is done is to ensure that there is no leaks in the line. So because see, they normally do it, gravity means you don't have that much pressure. You don't start the pump. So even if there is a small leakage here and there, it will be just by the head. So normally this is the practice. Operating manual says that you have a gravity transfer, ensure that the product starts reaching there, the level starts building up there. And once the level starts building up, then you start the pump, just to ensure that the integrity, I mean, this is just as operating discipline, what they follow. And this is the standard procedure we used to follow. It was simple failure, I mean, not simple failure, it's a major failure of many things. As I mentioned only 5-6 points. Maybe there were many, much more. This is from my experience I'm writing this is, and unfortunately, I never saw the report.
Yeah. Do we have some more questions, please? Because now we are closing the timing, closing to the end of the event timing. Do we have some more questions? Please switch on your mic and go ahead and shoot your question. I'm quite sure a lot of you may be, interested to know maybe further about this incident.
I have actually shared in the slide my telephone number and my email. You can still contact me. I can share whatever I can.
Okay, great. So we had a lovely session, meeting, and we also had two very good presentations. First was by Mr. Murthy on Anacortes incident, and a very deep learning from Mr. Vasu. We will have after we officially finish this session, Ramana will keep the Zoom meeting on for further networking as well, and even that time you can ask one-on-one questions with the speakers. And of course, the speakers are around us. You can always, contact them by so many media available, so many channels, and you can further query about the incidents. But the more important part or objective of this platform is to know each other, to know about as to who is doing what and how we can improve our knowledge, our awareness on process safety management, what's happening around in Kuwait or even outside Kuwait in this field. So I would give one or two opportunities to someone who wants to share something in a sentence or two, not related to necessarily to these incidents, but just if you want to talk about maybe in one or two sentences. Someone, please go ahead.
This is Devendra, sir, Devendra Rathore.
Yes, Devendra.
Yeah. So thank you, Vasu sir, for this presentation. So it was a very eye-opener incident. So one thing, just you listed out so many things which are as a outcome of the incident, the learning. This one important part is the competencies, the competency of the operator. There are the two things. One is the qualification, another is the competency. Qualification is you are having diploma, you are having a degree and all these things. But the competency come with the experience. This is the most important thing. And this is where we have to improve, and this also leads to the better operation discipline. And competency building takes time actually.
Yeah, I do agree with you. But this case, it was a simple opening of a transfer line. It was more like a management failure that you are sending a new operator, and probably he even doesn't know which line wall to open. I mean, it's just opening of a block wall. But I do agree, competency is a big part in many of the incidents. I do agree with you.
So before giving any operator a field charge or the panel charge, it should be thoroughly go through this screening process. Theoretical part and the practical field assessment, or if the guy need to take a charge on the console, then what do you call this operator simulator we have to train and all these things. So this will build this competency. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Is there someone wants to talk just like that? One or two sentences?
Excuse me, sir. Can you give me 1 minute to post the quiz? Later we can go for networking. Because I need to take
yeah,
the.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, all. Now I'm going to post a link for the quiz. You can answer it within 2 minutes. I'm going to announce the quiz quickly answered 5 participants. Okay. So your time starts now. I'm going to post. I have posted the link. Once you participate in the quiz and submit, immediately you will receive the certificate of participation in your inbox. Please carry on. In the meantime, whoever wants to talk, you can talk also. Oh, networking is open.
The link is not opening.
Not opening? It's opening. If anyone have doubt, no, it's opening. I checked in two different systems. Any other is having problem?
No, it's working.
You have an issue means maybe your device is not supporting. This is a Google form, so there is no special program is required for this. Only some settings probably.
Please repost again the link.
Posted. Yeah, I'm getting so many responses. People are very quick. 30 plus. Okay. Sir, my part is over. Now we can carry on.
Okay, wonderful. So even my part is also over, and we will now hand over to back to Mazhar and team who would be further doing the honors. So thank you very much, all of you, the speakers, for coming forward, and I encourage all others, all others, to come forward and talk. Don't present. Presentation. When we talk about presentation, people start getting jitters. We have to make PowerPoint presentation and all that. No, just talk and be in time. Practice a little before you come over here. And two types of practices are required. Of course, your content, how you are going to present, so that you are within time, you are understandable, people can make a meaning out of it. And also, you need to be a little proficient about use of this platform Zoom. You can learn from Ramana, or you can self-learn also how we can use Zoom in a time efficient manner, etc. So go ahead, and my part is over. Thank you very much, speakers. Thank you very much, participants. And we wait for the next month meet. So over to you, Mazhar.
Thank you very much, sir.
really wonderful presentation. On behalf of EC, I would like to thank both speaker Vasudevan sir and Murthy. Really, 1.5 hour you had kept us all in a learning environment. And Vasu sir, there was a little bit technical issues at the time of first presentation, Murthy. But really, Murthy, appreciate and salute to you. You did not lose the enthusiasm, and you had come up with again these things, and wonderful handling. The technical issue, it is not part of your hand or Ramanna, or we cannot do anything. But really, we will try to improve in that one also. And Vasudevan sir, the feedback is showing that you take us in a way that like a live video, means the members feedback is saying that we did not imagine that we are in on Zoom platform, and like we are in live. You are just talking in front of us, and we feel, and there was an interactive, and the question answer also very well taken. And Alhamdulillah, we are feeling very proud to have you, and you, Ujwal Rutik sir and Ashok sir and Sunil, and these kind of people in our team. And we always appreciate the effort and support. Once again, thank you very much, sir. I would like to call Ashok sir for a few minutes for just to brief us and to share something related to today's event. And before concluding these, I want to confirm the next month's speaker. So as Ujwal Rutik sir requested and asked for come forward, today itself, if we finalize, it will a well organized and well managed event. So please request all of you to come forward. Ashok sir, just we want to listen from you. Then I will invite Sunil as well. Ashok sir, please. Ravanna, check Ashok sir's mic mute or what.
Jahid, can I come in for a minute?
Yes, sir. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I was just seeing the questions, and one of the answers given as a correct answer was operator unaware of the system. I don't think that's a correct answer. The correct answer should be the system failure.
System failure. Yes, sir. I wrote that one and it got failed. I was surprised.
Yeah. It is not the operator's.
Yes.
It's a system failure.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Then I have to reevaluate the answers.
You have to put my name in the winner list. Wrong answer. That one. No problem. That quiz and all, this is good. But Ramanna, please take care next time. Ashok sir, can you hear us? Sunil bhai?
No. Okay, carry on. Next.
Sunil bhai is there? I checked both are there in the meeting.
Yeah, but
to get feedback from the advisory. Okay, Ramanna, if you are ready with winners, we will proceed with that one, and then we will call Ashok sir and Sunil sir within couple of minutes. You are ready, Ramanna?
But re-evaluation is required, it seems.
All are winners.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
All are winners.
Go ahead. Now we'll felicitate only the speakers.
Yes.
Okay. Winners will be declared later. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vasudevan sir. On behalf of ASSP Kuwait Chapter Executive Committee, we thank you and salute you, sir. During last meet itself, you took this one, that no issue, you can take this one, and we seek your support in future as well. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome anytime.
Thank you, Ramachandra Murthy. Really, it was a very nice case study you had presented, and hope these all our members, because when we started, it was 50, and at the time of when you were presenting, but we had noticed that it was reached up to 80. So almost 80 members, they got benefited and they learned something new from your presentation. Thank you very much, Murthy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all, sir. Thank you very much, ASSP.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Okay, I'll stop then.
No problem, Ramanna. You have control.
Because I have
Yes,
earlier I have
winner's
taken
name.
5
Actually,
names.
waiting to get their name as a winner. Actually, don't put
Ramana,
our
question. Other
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Your answers were one was construction site, another is construction tank farm. Tank farm. Both are same.
yes.
So
Okay, leave it, sir. Then
you
excuse
will
me.
create a controversy.
Yeah, but okay, announcing is not required. They might have received their certificates, participation certificates. It's enough, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Now floor is open. If Ashok sir is there, please just share with us or any other members, because as our objective is to share the knowledge, to provide a platform to all the members. So I would like to request all the members. Ravana, just check that one if required, if someone raising hand or if
Yeah,
required,
yeah, yeah.
just
I'm checking if anyone is there, and I would like to request for the next meeting a speaker for next meeting.
Yes.
Who
If
can
no one
share
is
their
there,
experience.
if no one is there, then the sharing experience, put Ashok sir's name. Kalas.
Okay, I'll be there for presentation.
Kalas, then we have both speaker. One learner, Mr. Ramana, and Ashok sir, experience sharing. Kalas.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, good, Ramana. Is there anyone who want to share some knowledge or their experience or the networking? Now we will keep another 5 to 10 minutes to know each other, where people are working, in which areas. So it will be very helpful for members as well.
Yeah, you can open your cameras now, so that I'll capture some pictures, screenshots.
Good evening, sir. This is Anirban Mishra.
Yes, Anirban, go ahead.
Sir, just to share a small incident. It was actually fatal incident happened in Africa, that is in Congo, Kolwezi. So I joined there as safety officer before it has happened. So it was basically a mines, copper mining, that is manufacturing of copper and the cobalt. So can I go for that? Actually, I just take 2 or 3 minutes, sir.
No
What was
problem.
happened? What was the incident? Yes, sir. So the things happened. The conveyors were there from where the used to have the clay, from where the copper is usually separated, and with the process is there, CCD and the leaching is there. So, and the roaster was over there. There's a very old plant, 70 years old plant. It was there. So some constructions also taken care by. I was joined with Reddy's Construction from South Africa. They're actually taking care of the maintenance and all the new tanks farms actually for the leaching and all the CCD area. So the new tanks were coming on, construction was going on along with the process. So process was also going on and the construction was going on. So during that time, some maintenance work was there with the roaster. The new roaster come up. It was already started with the processing and the production was going on. The finished products were there. It is around 700 degrees centigrade. It was roasted the material to get the finished product to go to the leaching or CCD. What happened? Two of our colleagues from our company, they were doing in the third stage, the third floor of the roaster, and he was putting the safety harness hooked into the barricade. Barricade was there. The solid barricade was there. One of the operator, Negro operator, went to the top of the roaster to open the finished product goes to the downside. Actually, it is the normal procedure. So he was not aware that people are under the finished product going the 700 degrees centigrade, that is completely you can see. So he opened that flange, whatever is from the roaster. All of a sudden, that finished product completely fire comes down. Our two persons were there Indian, three Negroes were there. All were completely burnt. There's a 90% burn over there. So it was like if I say they tried, hook was there, safety harness, they cannot come down immediately when they saw that the product is coming down. So it took some minutes to take out that hook from that barricade. Thus, it was there. So they came out, came the down incident happened actually, then emergency procedure started. The persons actually burned while opening their hand gloves. Complete skin comes out along with that hand gloves. That was the 90% burn was there. That was fatal incident. Two Indians died, three Negro. They immediately taken to hospital. From there, they taken to the South Africa. So they leave actually, but this was happened and that incident in happened. That is Kamato Copper Company, Kolwezi, Africa, Congo. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Anirban. Thank you for sharing your experience and the incident.
Sir.
Is there anyone who wants to brief something? Or Ramana, next 2 months, next PSM speaker already identified. Ashok sir also last time actually he agreed. So for next session, both speakers are ready. So start working on it. And Murthy, thank you very much for coming forward and presenting a very good presentation. And I appreciate all the members who has attended today's session. I'm signing off now. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ramana.
Hello, Jahir bhai. This is Ashok
Yes,
here.
sir.
My name.
Thank you very
What's
much,
the
sir.
issue?
No problem, sir. Actually, I also faced today 2 times. Actually, I left the meeting and again joined. Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
No, you are taking my name. I missed a meeting because today is we have 2 birthdays in my home. So I'm.
Wish you happy birthday, sir. Actually, we know that yes birthday already on the environment day. That we will never forget.
Today is my wife and my daughter's birthday. So
just convey our best wishes and regards.
Best wishes to you, sir, to your wife, my sister, and your daughter, sir, as well as Ramna also. Ramna's daughter's birthday also, sir, today. So we wish you.
Yes, I know that. Thank you all, and appreciate your support. Bye bye.
Sir, without your permission, we had already put your name for the next PSM technical meet.
Yeah, actually, Mr. Ritvik told me whenever somebody is not there, you should come in. So if nobody is there, I will come in.
No problem. We will try, but if not there, then we will float before 15 days. If it is there,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Otherwise,
Sure, no problem.
Thank you very much, sir.
I'll be there on standby always. Standby.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Ramanna, just enjoy the birthday. Actually, we also forget. No problem. Now it's already 8:55. Thank you very much, Ramanna.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jayaji.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you all for participating and.
Thank you, Ramana. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Actually, my plans were different, but due to network issues at our office, I could have to come here. Actually, I forced to come here. Anyway, it's not an issue. I really enjoyed doing moderating all these meetings. Okay, so let's catch up in the next meeting. We have next meeting on 24th. You all might have know it. It's related to confined space, which is.
You have some issue. Thank you, Vasudevan, sir.
Ramana, can I sign off?
Yes, sir. I'm just inviting everyone to
yes, Ramana.
attend for the next meeting. Okay, we have confined space webinar is there, which is presenting by MSA. Okay, so it will be really interesting one. Maybe you will be having some demonstration on that. Okay, and live videos will be there, something like. So I request everyone to attend and get some knowledge from them. Okay, thank you very much.
We will have prize also.
Probably we'll ask MSA if they can provide something. Okay.
Ramana.
Yeah,
Yes.
not a cylinder.
Ramana, happy birthday to your daughter, your lovely daughter.
Sorry, it's not my daughter's birthday. It's my son's birthday anyway. Thank you very much, Mr. Ramu. Okay. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'll call later.
Okay, thank you.
TM
And,
Ramu, I think.
someone is asking for the screen captures. You can get it from YouTube. Okay, screenshots won't be there, but you will get a live video on YouTube. Okay, so that is better instead of capturing any snapshots. Open the YouTube video and capture whichever you want. Okay, that is the easiest way. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to signing off now. See you on next meeting. Okay, bye.